Fairsy's Big Breakfast, thanks to Harvey Norman Launceston.
I'm in love with your body.
The last couple of days has been rather huge, and there's been a lot of movement on the medicinal cannabis front here in Tasmania, with the state government announcing more details about its Controlled Access Scheme, or CAS. Joining me tomorrow after 8 o'clock will be the Health Minister, Michael Ferguson, and we'll be speaking with him at length about this and a few other things that are on the agenda. But I thought it was rather timely to catch up with Lynn Cleaver from Medicinal Cannabis Awareness Tasmania. Good morning, Lynn. How are you?
Good morning, Rob. How are you?
Look, very good indeed. What was your reaction after more details were released about the Controlled Access Scheme?
Well, it's a positive step that the government's finally decided to release details about the access scheme. It's a little bit vague at the moment. You know, like Mr. Ferguson's initially was saying it was just a target group of paediatric epilepsy, but then came out and said it would extend to cancer-related pain and other conditions. I guess we just need a bit of clarity on, you know, which Tasmanians can go to their GP and ask for a referral. Yeah,
and also whether you can get it through your GP. I mean, do your GPs have to register under this? Do you have to go and see one of the GPs that are actually added to this list, this scheme? It's a bit wishy-washy still, isn't it? Yeah,
we're not sure whether there's going to be an authorised prescriber set up in Tasmania as there are in other states, so that would need to be cleared up as well. But I think one of the most beneficial things about this announcement is that now patients can speak openly with their GP or their specialist about their desire to use cannabis therapy. So that's really good.
Yeah, and well done to you for pouring on the pressure like you have. How many years has this fight been going for you?
Oh, so for cannabis, it's pushing into 4 years now. But as you know, Jeremy's had epilepsy for a very long time, so we fought for a long time to keep him alive. And I guess, Rob, the elephant in the room is what the government plans to do with families and Tasmanians like us who will just continue to home grow. So, I mean, it's a shame that there's no provision, that there was no legislation put in place to protect families like ours.
Well, that's right, and you need that. You need that. I mean, the last thing you guys need, and I've mentioned this to the ministers before, and as I don't know if you heard me at the start of this, I've got him on the show tomorrow, and I'll be raising it again, is saying that when these families are going through hell, and you're going through absolute hell, and unless you are going through it, you don't know, you know, the lengths and the stress and the pressures and that you're under. And the last thing you need to do is be looking over your shoulder all the time.
Yeah. And there's so many of us, Rob, that like there's people out here out there in Tasmania who already are successfully treating their conditions with what they're accessing themselves at the moment. So it's very unlikely that they will switch to a pharmacy prescribed therapy. So. And not only that, the price of these meds will prohibit a lot of people from accessing them, which is a shame.
Yeah, well, that's right, and I think that's one thing that we need to find out from the Minister tomorrow, is the cost of these, and because families are going to have to be able to access it and use it, and I have a big issue too with the products that are coming in. You don't know how they're made, you don't know what's in them or anything. I mean, I'd much prefer it to be done and made and here, where you know the process and that are right. And I'm sure you would too.
Yeah. And, like if it's going to be what they call single cannabinoid therapy, like pulling apart the different cannabinoids like just CBD or just THCA, for most people that doesn't work, Rob. Most people benefit from a broad cannabinoid profile in their cannabis medicine, so it would be important that is offered from botanical cannabis extracts.
Yeah. Has the Minister or anyone from the Health Department ever been in touch with you to talk to you about, getting a more in-depth knowledge about this area, or still no contact?
Still no contact. Minister Ferguson contacted us initially when the scheme was released last year, but we've been trying to organise to sit down with the Minister and the relevant people with, a couple of different stakeholders within the community so that we can all discuss what's needed, what's happening now, and where do we go from here.
Okay. I'll raise that with the Minister again tomorrow too.
Thank you.
No worries at all. Well, Lynn, thank you so much. I mean, it's a positive step and that's good, but we need more. We need more clarification. Wouldn't it be great if they actually talk layman's terms and like human?
Well, most of us are struggling to keep our eyes open, so when you're trying to make sense of these releases and statements, one day, something is said and then the next day something different is said. People that use cannabis are unwell, they're frail. We just need clear direction on where this is going. And
it seems our government would rather see them pump horrible pharmaceutical pills and lotions and stuff that have horrible side effects in instead of a purely natural, beneficial health remedy that's been around for donkey's years, centuries.
Unfortunately, it does seem like that.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens. We'll chat to the Minister tomorrow. Lynn Cleaver from Medicinal Cannabis Awareness Tasmania, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Rob.
No worries at all.
Fairsy's Big Breakfast, weekday mornings from 6 on LAFM.